This is going to be a sad moment for all the artists around the world today. Last night, I saw the news that the R&B singer and actress Whitney Houston had passed away at the age of 48. And now, in honor of the life of Whitney Houston, I know she's a singer and she's an actress as well, and she plays from the reality show. And who could afford that? But I know is that I remember Whitney Houston when I listened to her every time. She always amazing voice, and she expecting to have more precious voice than I ever thought. So, but her career hasn't come because she has a problem with an addiction, drugs, and some unknown causes, and she was overdosed by their drugs. So this is a sad day for her, and especially for the fans. They already know, but according to the police, Whitney Houston has the cause of overdose, or probably have related drugs in Beverly Hills, and she was always tried to do, the possibility goes wrong, and in order to a few other options, but she was Whitney thought it was drugs because she took drugs, and for some reason in the mid 2000s she was currently wasn't in this particular, but well, I remember her when Whitney Houston has amazing voice turned into a problem like drugs and more afford than I ever thought before. It says, according to this one, Whitney Houston had an amazing voice over the decades. Here now. Let me go over the Whitney Houston discography. It's just a weeks from Whitney Houston and finally arrived the new album. 7 years of us Whitney fans have been waiting for this. The event is a perfect occasion of look back on her impressive catalog. This is a first debut album, Whitney Houston, in 1985. From the opening notes of You Got Good Love, was it clear that young Whitney, at just 21 years old at that time, possessed a powerful and expressive voice and critically the talent to control it. While so many of today's young singers overseeing her work, particularly their ballads, Whitney could keep her melisma in check, deploying its effect to the big choirs, but showing tender restraint in other times. Take, as an example, Saving All My Love for You, in which Whitney assumes a whole of the married man's mistress. During that verses, Houston quietly convey without judgment such as women's feelings, but lets a passion loose for her choirs. While Whitney is known for her ballads, she's pretty good and upbeat material too, and proven by Sunny Spirit Lift, How Will I Know, my favorite song here, as well as keyboard heavy Thinking of You and Someone for Me. Other ballads such as Mega Hit, The Greatest Love of All, All at Once, seem less interesting known, if only because such style is having become an ubiquitous by Houston and her contemporaries. With all the album is good, the duets and the weakest link, particularly to the two of Jermaine Jackson's best, How Will I Know, Saving All My Love for You, You Give Me Good Love, All at Once, Thinking of You, and The Greatest Love of All. In 1987, Whitney Houston's second album called Whitney, similar to her debut and similarly good, Whitney continued to showcase the singer strength as a pop artist, both with slow and love songs and upbeat dance pop tunes, the latter of which were the stronger of the second album. I Want to Dance with Somebody Who Loves Me, in particular, is probably my favorite Whitney Houston song that I remember. I love everything about as a sassy voice, vibrant, and the very late 80s tunes. Dark Stone, so emotional, with the straight rock leanings, is another clear highlight. Power ballads such as Didn't We Almost Have It All and Where Do Broken Hearts Go are effective, although predictable. Yet they had, as the other two songs we're mentioning about, were all the #1 hits. For the Love of You provides a nice contrast as the Understand Love ballad. This was my first Whitney Houston album, so while I recognize it's probably not as strong as a debut, nostalgia forces me to love in no less. Best, I want to Dance with Somebody, so emotional. Didn't We Almost Have It All? It's a contact sport. Just the lonely Think Again, and Where Do Broken Hearts Go? In 1990, the third album for Whitney Houston is I'm Your Baby Tonight. The sound pop music changed during the late 80s, early 90s, with the heavy synthesized and drum machine from the 80s sounds being replaced more frequently than an instrumental and synthesized drum machines that sound more authentic. I'm Your Baby Tonight sets the crosswords from the change as well. It does give a Whitney a new song with a few other artists there. It doesn't have the talentively as it suggests you uncertain over whether doing so recently is a good idea. Pushing forward are changing upbeat songs like #1 hit call I'm Your Baby Tonight and My Name Is Not Susan, while backward looking Lover for Life and I'll Belong to You sound like Whitney's leftovers, as if there wasn't enough confusion anymore. Sounds suspiciously like Karen White's Secret Rendezvous, which is a shame, since back with a Karen White should have seen for Whitney's and not vice versa. Despite that, the odd moves the album for this artist are the two ballads, All the Man That I Need and Miracle, are timeless, tasteful Whitney at her best. The best is I'm Your Baby Tonight, All the Man That I Need, and My Name Is Not Susan, and Miracle. So, I gotta show you the disc that I got here, so on goes on that. Just give me a hold for a second. Here are the two. Oh, here are the first soundtrack for Whitney Houston. The Bodyguard, an original movie soundtrack starring Whitney Houston and Kevin Costner. Here's the front, here's the spine, and here's the back. Including 6 of our artists on Whitney Houston, and the other 6 are the different artists. Here's the disc itself, and here's the cover for this art cover, as I mentioned. Same as artist, one artist and the other ones. Including a hits call I Will Always Love You, I Have Nothing, I'm Every Woman, Run to You, Queen of the Night, and Jesus Loves Me. They're all including 6 songs from Whitney Houston. The other didn't have the different artists of this more songs that different artists on this soundtrack. And this other soundtrack is called Waiting to Exhale. In 1995, Whitney Houston contributes only 3 tracks each, including Count on Me, which is a duet for CeCe Winans. And the number 10 in the Houston album is, we don't have it, I don't have it either, but with this, Whitney's a project, the best, the first of the track to this second artist, from the soundtrack is called Exhale Shoop. And it's the third and last soundtrack is The Preacher's Wife soundtrack from 1996. Include the hits I Believe in You and Step by Step, which is Annie Lennox penned. All these two are the last track with Whitney Houston. As a comeback album is called Whitney Houston, My Love Is Your Love from 1998. Here's the front with the Whitney sitting on the road. Here's the spine, and here's the back, including his like It's Not Right But It's Okay, Heartbreak Hotel, or My Love Is Your Love, and include the hits called I Am Learned from the Best. And here's the disc. And here's the poster, album cover. And this last album is called hold on for a second, is Just Whitney from 2002, including the hits called Try It On My Own, Rather Loves specifically that never heard released in 2002, and this is the other one, Disappointing Hits called What You Look At It. Well, it's I never heard the song before, but it was difficult, but that's from 2002. On this best is called Try It On My Own. And this the last one of this album, if I can hold on for a second, but this last album of Whitney Houston is I Look to You, including hits like $1 Million Bill, Nothing But Love, Call You Tonight, and the rest of the songs. I haven't heard about this song, but it's a pretty good song with the comeback album. And she also planned for the reality show called Whitney and Bobby. And there you go. The life of the great artist. And oh, one more thing. It is called Whitney The Greatest Hits from 1999 or 2000. And this all albums there are Whitney Houston that I dedicated this the song. So and there you go. Hope you enjoy. Whitney will never be the same. Maybe rest in peace. She's a great talented, great singer, and we miss you. See you later.